And to just tie on, another thing that pride causes, it just causes you to be an unlikable person. As humans, no one likes someone who is proud and full of themselves, right? Like we may appreciate someone who's confident, but someone who's actually proud, no one likes that type of person. And so let's all work on being a little bit more humble and be willing to learn because when you're proud, you're not able to continue learning because you kind of feel like you've already reached it.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Anarchy Podcast. 99% of traders will never make consistent profits. So why listen to the 99% of advice? On this show, we're going to challenge some of the most hallowed and repeated tenets of trading, and in doing so, set you up to succeed where others fail. Spoiler alert, we don't have a secret strategy or magic wand that will let you skip out on the hard work of learning the markets, but we can debunk viewpoints that are holding you back. If that sounds good to you, come join us. Hey everybody, welcome to the Anarchy Trading Podcast. Today we want to talk about an often overlooked killer, profits killer, a mindset that if you have it, you won't be profitable because you'll never be able to do what is necessary to win. I'm talking about pride. Now, that sounds corny. I get it. But today we're going to try to make the case that if you have pride, you won't be able to do what's necessary to win, even if you know what's right. And maybe you'll see a little bit of this in yourself. Maybe you won't. I know I see this in myself. I think everybody struggles with it a little bit, but maybe you can see it a little bit in yourself and be able to push back on some of the tendencies that come with kind of the natural human experience of pride. So, Jordan, how you doing?
Hey, doing well, Levi. And yeah, pride, guilty as charged. Growing up, especially, I used to be really cocky, and I would say I still tend to be a little bit cocky, a little bit less, I think, as the years go by, and I learned that I indeed am not the bee's knees of at everything. But yeah, for sure. Kind of interesting how you mentioned that pride. Like, I kind of faced that. We've been talking about like trading and like when you should quit on one of our recent podcasts here or last time
Yeah.
we chatted actually. And so, funded trader, having a trading a funded account, getting ready for payouts and stuff, and then, having a really bad day, like pride and that taking a shot, very real. So I can relate a lot to this discussion today.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with trading too is that it's very individualistic, right? Because it's just you against the world, right? It's not as a day trader, it's not really team based. And it draws a certain crowd also, right? I mean, the trading world is predominantly male, although we have a was significant female viewership, but it's
13%.
predominant. Yeah, it's predominantly male. It's predominantly kind of younger to middle-aged males, and we're kind of full of ourselves. All right. Now that's sometimes good, right? You need some confidence to get things done in the world, and sometimes it's really bad. And so it kind of lends itself to people like you and me. We are full of ourselves. We tend to be cocky. And man, you go on Twitter, you go on anywhere where social, on any social media, and you see this with the trading gurus, right? I mean, that's who attracts people get attracted to that, right? It's the fancy car, it's the I'm amazing, it's the you know it, right? You've seen it. So the funniest thing about that is that we know that those people, the people who are always bragging, always touting the win rates, those people, the more you brag about yourself, the less likely you are able to actually trade in real life. And we've seen this a million times. Like there are well-known trading gurus who just can't trade. It's been shown a million times. They can lie about it all they want, but when they actually trade in real life, in real time, they can't. They can't trade. And so it seems to be like negatively correlated pride with success in the market. It's very odd. And I kind of wanted to, I just seen some stuff on Twitter lately. And so I kind of wanted to talk about it because I had some kind of just bullet points of what pride does to your trading. And we've talked a lot about, you know, FOMO. We've talked about fear of missing out. We've talked about fear of, failure, all that stuff. But I think there's actually one step further back. I think pride is actually one step further back that causes those things. And so I kind of wanted to go over that today. My first point of what pride can cause you to do, kind of the mistakes it can do, is it prioritizes winning over everything else. And not winning in general, but winning a specific trade. So if you're full of yourself, if you're prideful, you can't take a loss well, right? Because that reflects on you personally. It makes you feel less, right? And so you prioritize winning, and that causes you to a bunch of other really negative things down the line.
Yeah. And I mean, to pull in a little bit of biblical wisdom, the Bible actually says in Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction and a haughty spirit
Preach.
before a fall, right? Like, so as a Christian, I can pull in a little bit of that biblical wisdom, so to speak, and bring that in. And you're absolutely right. As soon as you start like bragging or saying, yeah, I can have seen it in my own life, exactly where you say, like, you can't take a loss. So you've had like, it's actually usually more common for me, like, okay, I've had a few winning days, I've been doing really well, and then I lose. And instead of just stopping, like case in point, last week, you don't want to take that loss because your pride is like, wow, I've been doing so well. I am a good trader.
Yeah.
If I just take this next trade, I'll be able to not have a losing day. And, we all know how
You
that goes.
go full tilt. Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned this last week about your whole, your day that you kind of blew up. It still happens, right? Doesn't matter how good, and which is again why you have to be so careful because you never fully lose it. I mean, we are prideful creatures. It's just how we work. And so it's really important to kind of recognize where it's coming from. That's a great point that I hadn't thought of, which is pride can cause you to just keep, like, essentially go full tilt and start trying to revenge trade because you want to get back to winning because you can't take, hey, I lost today, right? I lost. That's it is what it is, right? Like you lost. But pride doesn't want to hear that. And so you start revenge trading. I'm going to list a few things just off the cuff of what pride causes. And let me see if anybody's listening. Maybe you've seen these in your own life, right? Maybe you've seen these in your own trading. See if these make sense. So pride, right? It can cause you to move your stop loss, right? Because you don't want to take the loss. So you take a trade, price starts going down, it's about to hit your stop loss, and you move it because you don't want to take the stop. You don't want to take the loss. And so you go, I'll just move it. I'm right, right? I am right. I just put it a little close. I'm just going to give a little breathing room, right? Does that sound familiar? Pride makes you not cut losing trades early. This is somewhat related, but maybe price hasn't hit your stop loss. It's just kind of, it's not doing what you thought it would be doing. And so instead of cutting loose, you hope. We've talked about hope before, but I think it's also rooted in pride. You don't you go, hey, I'm good. I took this trade. I will be right. Third thing, pride can make you take profit early. This is super common for beginners because you get a little bit of a win and you want to take the win. Why? Because you're proud, right? And guilty is charged. Again, I mean, we're speaking to ourselves here, but you go up 1R, right? You're typically aiming for more than that, but you take it right there because you want the win. It feels good. I was right. Yay. This goes to your point last week. I think you'd mentioned it. The most losing traders have above a 50% win rate. Most of them have higher than that, 60, 70% win rates, and they still lose because win rate means nothing. And it's so frustrating when you go on social media and you see, gurus bragging about their 90% win rate. It's like, well, win rate doesn't mean anything, right? And so those are some things that I just thought off the top of my head of what pride can do. It makes you want to hold on, makes you not be willing to take losses and not be willing to take the risk of being proven wrong. And I think that's kind of the main gist of it being to be a successful trader, you have to be willing to be wrong a lot. And pride doesn't allow that.
Yeah, and to just tie on, another thing that pride causes, it just causes you to be an unlikable person. Like, let's be honest, as humans, no one likes someone who is proud and full of themselves, right? Like, we may appreciate someone who's confident, but someone who's actually proud and just like, no one likes that type of person. And so, just let's all work on being a little bit more humble, a little bit more meek, and be willing to learn, because when you're proud, you're not able to continue learning because you kind of feel like you've already reached it. And so it also, being proud, it keeps you from being able to learn and to be able to progress farther and learn new techniques and improve your techniques, which you always should be doing.